Hi guys, in this week's video, I'm not really doing it weekly, just this video. Yeah, we're painting this guy. He's another one of the original Catachan sculpts. I don't think they get these guys names, but this is the weirdly leaning dude. Is that a good enough name? Sounds kind of ridiculous now that I said it out loud. Anyway, I decided for this guy I'd try and paint a darker skin tone. I usually try to do a mix of skin tones in the army because the artwork always had a mix. So it looks kind of more, what's the word, authentic, I guess. So, pretty happy with how he turned out. Yeah, so here's how I did it. Pretty much the same as all my other Catachan painting, but you know, darker skin this time. So to begin with, he is primed with grey plastic primer by Halfords, and then the skin is base coated with Mornfang brown. Ordinarily I would go for Cadian flesh tone for the paler skin colours, but Mornfang brown works out well for me for the darker skin tones. Then we continue on with Wa flesh for his fatigues. So his pants and his jacket there. And then Warboss green for his shirt. Then I use a Abaddon black on all the black details, so his boots and his lasgun and his hair. As always, I'm not being too overly careful here, I'm just blocking in the colours, getting in the base coats, and I'll clean it up later. Then Mephiston red for his bandana, and I always put a little dot on the lasgun where I imagine there's a kind of a laser sight or something. Then I use Scrag brown on all of the leather bits, so his belts and his knife sheath or whatever, and knife handle I suppose as well. He's a strangely shaped knife sheath here. The others have differently shaped ones. It's more kind of square or angular or something. So lead belcher on all the metal details. Basically just the lasgun and a few little buckles and stuff. Also, these old sculpts have this cool thing where they have little chains around their wrists, and it's just a nice detail that they don't have on the modern ones. Then for the tiger stripe camo I used Mornfang brown, and then a few little details in Ushabti bone. And here I am just going back over all the base coats with, what do you call it? The same color, just cleaning up the edges basically. Making sure I didn't miss any spots and just making sure I didn't go color outside the lines too much basically. So then I use Vallejo flesh wash, just to wash all of his skin, and Vallejo black wash on basically everything else and on his face to pick out the details a bit more. Then I use Mornfang brown to highlight the skin back up, and then I basically just highlight the rest of the colors a little bit along the edges and raised parts. Black the rim of the base. So I'm just picking out the edges and adding a bit more detail because the wash makes it all very dark and dingy, so you want a bit of brightness to it. Then for the final highlight on the skin, I mix up a little bit of lighter brown with Mornfang brown and white. I think I used the Shabdi bone there. And that just picks out very specific areas, not nearly as much as I used in the previous highlight. Then, as always, I base with wall spackle or wall filler, just to give it a muddy look. paint that with Mornthang Brown again. Actually, there's a lot of Mornthang Brown on these models, but the washes and everything kind of varies it up nicely. I'll give it a wash, then a coat of PVA glue to seal it and to stick the static grass onto. And then finally a final coat of black on the rim, just to tidy it up. And I added a little tuft of dead grass. So there you have it. Another Catachan warrior done. I painted 3 in a batch this week, all with darker skin. I'll probably paint another 3 next week. And yeah, I've a lot of the army finished now. A few tanks coming up eventually, but I'm trying to get through the infantry for now. Yeah, that's about it. Hope somebody enjoys this. Check back next time.